After you've done your texturing, you can go around. One of the ways I showed you to blend your textures in was to use obviously the color adjustments in your layers, which is just your color. The other way is to actually use these brushes down here. You got your dodge and burn tools. For instance, if I select on my burn tool and put the exposure quite low, and go find the bits that are a bit lighter. So for instance, this area here, I can tell there's two textures that are merging, and start pretty much painting it out. I can help it to blend that area in without making it too dark. So this area looks a bit much better than it was looking before. And again, you can do that with the dodge option. For instance, if there's any dark areas, you can just pretty much go around and this area, and you can go around, and first of all you'll have to choose the the right layer in order for it to work. For instance, this one is for that. So again, this is optional and it's up to you how you want to color correct it. You can take it into Photoshop and do the same thing, paint out any bits that are completely odd and sticking out. Again, you can use the paintbrush here to actually start painting blobs of color if you want to. Just select the color that you want and just start painting over. I mean, that's totally up to you as well. So that's pretty much for the texturing. So for instance, if I hit file, save as, you'll see that my textures have been saved out automatically. A good way to see that your textures, how they're appearing, is if you go into the UV view, and basically that's that one layer on the whole thing. So if I hit the second layer and go into UV view, that's the top part. And again, if I hit that one and go into UV view, that's the main of the face. For instance, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna merge visible, so everything is getting merged down to one layer. Now if I go into my UV view, you'll see that that's pretty much the whole texture kind of painted in for me, which is quite cool. It's a really fast way, as I've said many times, for texturing. So I'll save that as something else, just so because I can keep the different layers when I show you. So if I go press 2 in this one, this will save it separately. So if I now navigate to my location, and here's the two models, this is being the first one, you'll see that it's actually saving each one of these passes separately, which is really good really good thing that Mudbox offers, that you can actually take this into Photoshop, adjust it, and fix that. And again, the other option obviously is to just compress everything and export that out separately. So for instance, if I open that up, it saves it as a TIFF file, so you can even open that up and you can go into 3D Studio Max. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come straight in here, turn on my materials, and just drag this one into there. And oh, sorry about that, more programs opening, it's not going to be happy. I'll put that onto my actual model, and if I select my model now and hit smooth, just the faces of it, so I'll select all the faces, and nope, that is the one. Anyway, I'll just leave that for now. I'll fix that in a second. So if I even go in here, and I'll just turn on Turbo Smooth for now, just to see. So you can see the texture has loaded up fine. I'll just I've just changed the smoothing options on the model, and that's pretty much my texture here in 3D Studio Max. As you can see, there's no seams. Obviously this needs fixing. You can do that. If you look at if I open my UV editor up again, so if I apply unwrap and hit open UV editor, you can see my seams are running here along this line, along here, but you can't see any of that in the actual texture because this method of painting textures is kind of seamless. So if I turn that on, you'll see my actual texture in the background there. Give it a few seconds to load up. There we go. So that's pretty much how it's laid out. It's quite nicely done. Down here, if I turn that off, again, you can choose a higher resolution texture to do this as well. And I expect you guys, if you use this method, to spend much more time and make a much better looking texture, because this is really rough, really scruffy. So you can do a much better job when it comes to doing your own models. This is done really fast. So if I press no, just collapse that all and press yes. So if I deselect that now, as you can see, there's no seams whatsoever. There should be one here, but it's not there. So that's pretty much the texture face unwrapped. In the next tutorial, I'm going to just quickly show you how to create, do some sculpting using the alpha brushes. To again, that in Mudbox is going to be much more difficult to do with the record running, so I'm going to be turning it on and off, and eventually I'm going to show you how to export a normal map from Mudbox into, and how to upload it into 3D Studio Max. So I'll cut this video short now.